Okay, guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Yes, we're back. I had to kind of reset. I actually switched computers. I came over to my Mac, but when I'm on my Mac and it's a whole thing. But I switched computers and I'm working on one screen right now. But hopefully this is gonna work better. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna see. All right, let's get into it. Let's try to get through this. If we can't and it's not good audio, then I'm gonna just have to do an upload, okay? Because I want y'all to hear this information. Let's get into it. We're not gonna take any time. I do have a couple of updates, but we'll just talk about them separate. Um, so we'll talk about them before we end this live, okay? All right, so this first interview that we're going to listen to is the neighbor. When Sakina was trolling around the apartment and she was looking for Kayla the night that Kayla was killed, the night of the homicide, she knocked on someone's door and a teenager named Jemiah answered the door. And this is the interview with Jemiah. Let's go ahead and get into it. I not sped it up, but I moved it up just a little bit for her identifiable information to be edited out. So this is the detective talking to Jemiah about what she understands about the truth versus not the truth, and just making sure that they're on the same page about what information um, what information that is valuable is and what isn't, and that kind of stuff. Just kind of giving her basic explanation, um, and she's agreeing to all of that. Okay, all right, let's get into it. I'm going to be on silent. We'll talk about each call as they're over. So we'll just run the call all the way through and then we'll talk about it afterwards, okay? Or not call, interview, excuse me.
2022. The statement is being taken reference case number 07-2207-001605, which is currently classified as a homicide. Statement is being taken by Detective Kuchler, the Broward County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit, CCN 11488. Also present is Detective Lisa
Almanza, Detective Almanza, CCN 18310.
Statement is being conducted at the incident location, building number 7, unit number 201, with the witness, who is a juvenile.
Well, keep in mind, regarding redacting, they redacted information, but also keep in mind that I did a media request and it's the freedom of information, it's public information, so they're not going to redact it. They redacted it to a certain point, but they leave it up to the media outlet's discretion to handle whether you're going to put out that, how carefully you're going to edit that. So it's just information that, it's available information, but it's not necessary for our purposes. So I'm making that editorial decision to edit that information out prior, right? Okay. All right, let's get into it. Could you guys hear? Let me just make sure that the audio was good before we get into it, because let's see. Of course, I can get into it. Is the audio good? Can you guys hear me? Loud and crispy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Today's date is currently July 22nd, and the time is now 11:35 p.m. All right, Jemiah, do you understand we're police officers?
Yeah.
All right, in addition, I'm empowered to administer an oath by the state of Florida. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the statement you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can lower your hand. All right, prior to going on tape, I informed you a little bit that I was going to talk to you about being sworn in and what the term perjury meant.
Yeah.
And I explained that was to lie under oath. You understand at this time you're now under oath, and any lies or intentional false statements, you could be considered a crime in the state of Florida. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jemai, you're 16 years old?
Yeah.
And what grade are you?
Yeah.
What do you do for working at this time?
No.
Okay. Are you on any medications or anything like that right now that I need to be from the lie? Do you understand what the truth and the lie is?
Yes.
What do you consider a truth?
Something that's. I don't want to use
I know it's
the
hard
word
to
in a
give a definition, yeah,
but something that
you can give me an example if you like, if that's easier.
something that I did that is a fact or correct.
So something that you actually did, not something you just made up.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you were to tell the truth or a lie, which one would cause you to be in trouble?
A lie.
And why is that?
Because it could mislead somebody or. Yeah.
That's perfect. You give misinformation and make something up and then mislead someone in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The only thing, like I said when I swore you in, the only thing I can ask of you today is just to tell me the truth and make sure we cover everything truthfully. And if you don't know something, don't make anything up or don't tell me anything that you may have heard from somebody else. Just what you know and what you saw. Okay?
All right.
You able to do that?
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. All right. As I mentioned, back on July 13th, unfortunately, there was an incident here at Tamarack Village Apartments where someone did lose their life. On that evening, from my understanding, I made contact with your mom a couple of days later, and she had informed me that someone had stopped by here unexpectedly about 2, 3 in the morning. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In your own words, could you just tell me about what happened that night?
So it's around like 2:30 maybe. I heard a knock at the door, so I looked through the peephole, but I wasn't sure who it was. But I seen it was a woman, and she was kind of standing off to our right, well, your left side, but my right. And when I opened the door and I poked my head out, she was talking to me. She was kind of not looking, like she was looking, but like over her shoulder. And then at one point she turned and she pulled her mask down. And she told me that she looked like someone took her bag. Like she put a bag down on the stairs, walked around the complex, told me she came back and her bag was gone. And she said, I knocked on everybody's door, or I'm knocking on everybody's door on this floor because somebody on this floor took it. She said she heard a door open and then it closed. And then I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have your bag, whatever. Then she asked me how old I was. So I'm 16, whatever. And then after that, I told her I didn't have her bag and I closed the door. She left. Well, I guess she left. I'm not sure. Because after that, I just turned around and went back in my room. Then about probably like 20 minutes later, I started hearing banging at the door. Like it was like somebody was aggressively banging. But I didn't come out my room, like see who it was. But I called my mom, told my mom that there was somebody banging on the door.
Okay, so when you heard the banging, you didn't look out the people or anything?
No.
Okay, it was a short time after she was here, though?
Yeah, I just stayed in my room. I didn't come out.
Okay. And this person that came to the door, do you remember what she looked like or what she was wearing?
She had on like kind of like a coat, a Yankees cap, like black sweatpants, and I'm not sure what type of shoes they are, but I know they're like really expensive.
Oh, okay. You noticed her shoes were expensive?
Yeah, but I don't remember what's like the name of them, but I know like what they look like.
Okay. And you said she was wearing a mask. Do you remember what kind of mask?
A black COVID mask. Like.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And she pulled that down. And do you remember anything about her face? Does she have any marks, scars, tattoos?
Nah, I didn't pay that much attention.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like a quick little, and she realized what she was doing, so she put it back up.
Did she have any type of accent when she spoke?
Not necessarily. Okay. Not that I recall.
All right. And had you ever seen this person before?
No.
And since that incident, have you seen that person again?
No.
Now, prior to going on tape today, you were shown a photo lineup, and during that, you selected someone.
Yeah.
And that person, you circled their picture and you initialed next to it, I believe, and wrote today's date time. Okay. And you're stating here today that that person you circled or their picture of is the same person you believe was at the door that night.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall, or how certain you are that that's the same person?
What do you mean?
In your own words, like if you were to say how sure you were that was the person.
95.
95? Okay. So 95%, 100% being obviously without a doubt, 95% very close to that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to add to the statement?
Nope.
And everything you stated here today is the truth?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Statement will conclude. The time is now 11:41 p.m.
Okay, let's talk about it for a minute. So that was Jemiah. Jemiah lived down the hall from the Hodgsons, okay? Turns out her mother was actually at the club where Kayla was working. But they didn't know each other. I guess it was just kind of like a local, like a local spot, have some drinks, have some food. And Sakina knocked on the door, acting crazy. She said she was knocking on everybody's door. I think she was actually looking for Kayla's apartment. To me, that says you don't know where Kayla lives. You knew she lived on the 5th floor, but maybe you didn't know exactly which apartment was hers, because why are you knocking on every single door? That's weird. You know what I mean? If she knew which apartment was which, she would be waiting at that apartment. I think she knew that she lived in building 7 or building 5, but I don't know that she knew exactly which apartment she was in. It's very strange. She was camped out at building 7, she was camped out at building 5, and she was knocking on everybody's door. That's just, to me, that's giving either she is absolutely bonkers crazy, or she did not know where she lived, or both. Okay. At 2 o'clock in the morning. And she caught the girl off guard because she's young. um, she said she looked outside, she saw it was a woman, and unfortunately, we as women and training up our young women and even the boys need to know, you can't even trust, like, it's a woman, oh well, you know what I mean? Like, at this point, we can't even trust that anymore, because this woman was getting ready to go kill somebody, right? um, Little did she know, as a young lady, she was standing there talking to a stone cold killer who was getting ready to get somebody in a couple of hours. Okay. Anyway, let's go on to the next call. Let's moving along. The next one is going, not
I know
call. I
you
keep
work
saying
for an
call, but
airline and
you
you got
guys
to come.
understand why. We're going on to the next interview, which is Diana Hodgson, which is Kayla's mom. And let's hear from Diana. Now, some of you guys had questions like, did she move? Let me tell you something. She absolutely moved. She The apartment was obviously secured for a period of time, and once that period of time was up and they released the apartment back to her, she said she had very little time to pack up and go. But after what happened to her child, of course, she did not go back to reside in that apartment. After that, she left. Now, where did she go to another unit? I don't know. Did she just move? I would imagine after something like that, I would just go be with family. I don't, you know what I mean? You need your whole family around you, but I don't know what she did. But we're going to find out um, a little bit more information. Um, let's go ahead and get into it. Just a second.
Discussed again the term perjury. You understand that as to lie. All right, thank you very much. Can you please state your full name and date of birth for the record?
Diana Hodgson.
Perjury, you understand that as to lie under oath can be considered a crime in the state of Florida?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, we're here discussing the death of Kayla Hodgson, who was your daughter, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you did reside with her at 9335 West Commercial Boulevard, unit number 200, which is also the Tamarack Village apartment complex?
Correct.
Okay. And how long were you living there for?
Since February.
And when you moved in, it was just you and Kayla moved in?
Correct.
And if you could, I know you work for an airline and you kind of come in pretty regularly. Do you have a regular schedule or flights or no?
Right. My schedule is not that regularly, but lately I've been working a lot more than typical. There are times that I'd leave early morning. She would drop me off, or she would pick me up. During that time that I'm away, she's typically home by herself, working and doing other things, or just residing there.
Guys, let me run back for just a second because we missed the date of the interview. Hold on.
Spelling the last name is Hodg, Broward County, Florida, on July 13th, 2022. Statement is being taken reference to case number 07-2207-001605. This statement is being conducted by Detective Kuchler, CCN 11488 of the Broward County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit on today's date, which is September 2nd, 2022, and the time is now 5:37 p.m.
Okay, so you know that it happened, the murder happened on July 13th, and this interview is taking place in September. So just wanted to kind of make sure we put that footnote on it, okay? And we're going to go back to where we left off, where they're talking about her schedule as a flight attendant.
Since February.
And when you moved in, it was just you and Kayla moved in?
Correct.
And if you could, I know you work for an airline and you kind of come in pretty regularly. Do you have a regular schedule or flights or no?
Right. My schedule is not that regularly, but lately I've been working a lot more than typical. There are times that I'd leave early morning. She would drop me off or she would pick me up. During that time that I'm away, she's typically home by herself, working and doing other things or just residing there.
When was the last time you saw Kayla before July 13th?
Yeah, the day that she dropped me off that morning to go to work.
And which day was that? Do you remember the actual date?
I believe if this happened on a Wednesday, I was to return on Thursday, so she dropped me off Monday morning.
Monday. And when you last saw Kayla, did she mention any problems she was having or concerns she was having?
We talked briefly about just a few things. Not during that particular conversation, but she did mention that she was having an issue as of lately with the prank phone calls, and she seemed to be a little bit more concerned about that.
Okay. But that wasn't that particular day, but you had discussed that previously.
Yeah.
And from my understanding before that Monday, Kayla was in New York. Do you remember what day she was there or when? Did you see her when she returned from New York? And do you remember what day that was?
Yes. So, I don't remember the exact dates and things like that, but I'm sure if I search for it, I'll find it. But she returned. I had a trip when she returned back from New York, and then I met her again at the house, and then I left for another trip that Monday morning. So in between there, yeah, we seen each other briefly.
And again, I know you mentioned you don't know the exact date, but would she have come home that weekend, or was she up in New York further out from there?
Let's see. I believe it was that weekend, because if I left that Monday, I think I had like maybe a 2-day trip prior to. So for example, if I would have left Friday night, came back Saturday, and then left to get like Saturday night. I'm not sure of the exact days, but in between there, she had returned home.
Okay. But when she returned home from New York, was there any issues that she was having at that point? Was there any mention of any problems in New York?
Not necessarily from that trip, no.
Okay. But you are referring kind of back to that she was getting some unusual phone calls. Did she describe what kind of phone calls? Were they harassing, threatening? What term did she use? I guess that's the better question.
She used it very loosely, like a prank call, but I guess wasn't really. How would I put it? I guess really wasn't too concerned initially, because these are things that can happen until it became more regular.
So it was becoming more regular.
Yes.
And when you say more regular, do you know approximately how often this would occur?
No. Because I'm away a lot, and she's busy, and she works the night shift, and our schedules don't always coincide. So I would briefly see her, and then we'll have a little powwow, or we'll go to lunch or do our nails, or and then during that time she'll kind of bring me up to speed a little bit.
And that was kind of my next question. Did she ever discuss her relationships with you? Did she ever disclose like guys she's seeing or anything like that?
Sure.
Yeah. Had she mentioned anything about this person, Terry, out of New York?
Yeah, she had mentioned him before. As a matter of fact, just before she left to New York, she was on speakerphone with him, and we were driving back from dinner, and she was getting prepared to go there, and I don't know who called who, but they were communicating. They were on the phone at that time, and he was saying how, oh, every time you come here now, you don't stop to see me. Why aren't you coming to see me? You know, like you're in my city, and you better come and see me first this time. And like basically, she was putting him to the back burner because she would go and visit, but that wasn't it wasn't for him mainly, and that would upset him. You know, at that point, it seemed like he was upset about that. So he said that this particular visit, that she better come and see him first, and then handle whatever else that she was there for, to just have fun or just hang out or whatever. But he made it very clear he wanted to see her as she got there within the first 2 hours. He said.
And do you know how he knew she was going to be there? Is that something she would have told him, or
Maybe, I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, because at that point it seemed like they were back on a good enough term for her to say, hey, I'm coming out there. I don't think that she realized how serious these pranks were, and even would have thought of him and his situation as an issue, a real issue. I didn't think that she would even put him in that category because it was not anybody that was mainly in her life. So maybe she overlooked that part of it.
And speaking of people in her life, Ravelto Robinson, what do you know of him?
I know that he is her um, on and off, on and on boyfriend, so to speak.
Okay. And on the day that Kayla was unfortunately found inside the apartment as a result of a homicide, Rovelto was the one that found her. Was there anything unusual about Rovelto being there? Would that be normal for him to stop by or try to check on her?
Yeah, that would be normal for him to do so. That was how their relationship was. At times it wasn't unfamiliar for me to see him there, or for him to stop in or drop by or drop off and things or pick up things from the house. So they were in constant communication, and that was the extent of their relationship. It was normal for him to be there on and off.
Now, when Rovelto found Kayla, he said that the front door was unlocked, and we didn't see any signs of damage to the door. Would Kayla normally leave the door unlocked when she was home? Do you know? I know everyone's not perfect, and they don't do it constantly, but was she kind of consistent in doing that? Would she normally lock the door when she's inside the apartment?
Yeah, typically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first thing anybody would do coming inside the house, is to secure their safety in the house and just to make sure it's locked. So
Okay. And when this occurred, you were out of state working, obviously, from my knowledge when I was there, because you took a flight back. Where were you at when this occurred again?
well, when I got the news, I landed in Myrtle Beach.
Okay. And then obviously you caught a flight back. When were you due to be returned back home?
The following day, so I believe that was a Thursday.
Yeah. So you would have been back that Thursday originally. Okay. So you would have been gone Monday to Thursday. Is that a normal schedule? I know you said it's not.
Typically, I do a 3-day trip or a 4-day trip. I believe the trip before that, though, was a 2-day trip. So my schedule is not, a 9 to 5. I work different hours, different trips, different days. It's not routine.
Okay. Now, since Kayla's death, the investigation led to this information of a female named Sakina Thompson. Are you aware of this person, or do you know of her being in Kayla's life prior to this incident?
I've only got mentioned of this other person from Kayla, but didn't know her name, just knew the role that she played as far as being the ex girlfriend of Terry, which I now know of. I just knew of these people. I didn't know these people. And we would typically use code names. We would just make up names for people. So if we're having a regular conversation, and so she would refer to him as the realtor, and then so she would just say, "Oh, his ex girlfriend or his girlfriend or whatever" at that point. But no, I didn't know her. I didn't know her name. I never met her. Never seen her before this.
And Terry, you referred to as the realtor. Had he ever been to the place in Tamarack Village, your apartment there?
Not that I had ever known of before this. No.
Okay. So you never met him in person?
Never, ever.
Okay. And one of the things we discussed was some of the items inside the apartment. Once you were back inside the apartment, you mentioned that some things appear to be missing. Do you recall those off the top of your head? Do you have a list of items that you're still missing?
Yes. Currently, I'm missing my concealed weapons permit that I tried to utilize the other day, and got back in the house. In my dresser drawer where I would keep certain documents, that was missing. Maybe an old ID of mine was missing. I know for sure my social security card was there, and just a few other items. I know for sure Kayla's new bought Tom Ford shoes are gone. The box was still there, but the actual shoes was missing.
And can you describe those shoes?
They're white, and gold heel. She just got in the mail, and I do have a video of it if you need it.
Okay. And those particular shoes, did she purchase them herself online, or you said they came in the mail?
Honestly, I really don't know how it was purchased. I know we have a parcel pending, boxes that if it's a delivery, it would go in to secure it, and then we have a code, and she asked me to go get the box out of that.
Oh, okay.
Setup. It's just different size boxes.
It's by the elevator, right?
No, it's actually by the gym.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like an Amazon. If you ever like had a pickup from Amazon, and then you put in your code, because they'll deliver it to that particular box. So they'll tell you either the box number, or once you put in the code. In our case, once you put in the code, the door would open, and then you'll retrieve your item.
All right. So that's where you got them for her.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So the Tom Ford shoes, and what else?
I don't know. At this point, I know certain like jewelry items were missing, and just some other stuff. But I believe you said you have those things in your possession.
Oh, like the
Her
laptop. Yeah.
and her shoes and things like that. It's very hard to pinpoint, because I didn't have time to search through the items. I had to leave the property. So basically the time that I had was to pack and leave. So everything is in storage at this point.
When we spoke earlier on, one of the things we discussed was these pink BB shoes. They're like slides.
Yeah.
I described the pair of slides that this person was wearing, and you told me they were BB slides, and provided a description of them without me showing you a photo. Is that correct?
Correct.
We just discussed that on the phone. And you described them as a pink slide type sandal with kind of fuzzy
Fur,
pink,
yes.
And
The BB lettering is like a glitter, like a rhinestone look to it.
And where were those usually kept inside the house?
Usually either in my room. They were my slippers, but sometimes I would leave them in the living room as I'm going or coming.
Okay. And when you described those, I had informed you and were those shoes anywhere to be found inside the house when you went in and checked for everything?
No.
Okay.
Guys, there are some silent moments, and those are some redactions. Okay, so just know that if you hear like a break in silence, there are some redactions, so just kind of be mindful of that. Also, if you're having trouble hearing, just put the volume up. The audio is really clear. I just think this lady is in a lot of pain, and I think she might be soft-spoken anyway. I saw her on the news, and she has like a quiet, very gentle voice. So, but I'm sure this is not something easy to talk about at all, even months later. Um, she's, obviously holding it together. I think I would be just destroyed, but she's holding it together and she's doing a good job telling her story. So I think she's just probably in a lot of pain. Okay, so let's resume. But if you hear some silence periodically at this point, there are some redactions. So okay.
Any way for identification other than the BB symbols or like your name on them or
Correct.
anything like
No,
that?
my name.
Okay.
It's probably I could just like a size 8.
Okay.
But
So the sizing would be specific to
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really honestly remember that bag. Kayla does a lot of shopping, and so I don't specifically remember that bag as opposed to her daily handbag that she would, I would recognize that immediately. That bag, I kind of don't really remember just because, like, I'm away a lot, and a lot of the times when she does her shopping, I call it her side of the house and my side of the house. You know what I mean? Like she has her privacy, and yes, I go in her room, but distinctively that particular bag, no, not right away. I do know that. Rovelto said that he recently purchased that for her, and I also found the handbag that I'm aware of that possibly came in that bag as well. It was a handbag, Fen, Fensace. It's like a Fendi Versace mix. Um, and there was a hat, but the hat was returned, but the bag was there. So recently she received that bag for an item that she got, and but that wasn't an everyday bag that she would use, right? I would just keep it in my closet, like I said, for backup in case my main rollerboard would, get broken at any point. That was there, and anytime Kayla would do her trips, instead of using her bigger suitcase where she would have to check in, she would just use that particular bag temporarily um, until she comes back, and then it goes back to my closet.
Okay. Did she use that one recently when she was away?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know where that was inside the apartment when you last saw
When
it?
I left, it was in the living room.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't unpack it yet. It was still just in the living room sitting there.
And again, when you were finally able to get back into the apartment after Kayla's death, did you find that suitcase in there anywhere inside there?
No.
Okay. So that's missing as well.
Correct.
Any other items that we didn't discuss? I know you mentioned the laptop that we have and some of your identifications. Was there anything that we didn't discuss?
Not
that
that
maybe you thought of?
I could really remember at this moment, honestly.
Now, when Kayla was found, she was wearing a nightgown and some pink Crocs. So was that common for her to wear around the house? Would that be how she would dress at home? Or would she, if she was expecting somebody, what would she, do you know how she would usually dress or to answer the door or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, typically she would, it's that type of the morning she would come in, she would take off her uniform. She would get comfortable. She would take off her makeup and take a shower, and yeah, so Yeah, she would walk around in that pink robe, and that was the Crocs that she used.
And I know, I believe we may have discussed it now. On Tuesday nights, Kayla worked at this place called the Spot Lounge for an event that was there. That was a regular event for her. Do you know how long she worked that for?
Not exactly, but I will say approximately maybe 5 6 months. She would work in a regular every Tuesday night shift.
Okay, so for almost half a year, she was doing that every Tuesday, pretty consistent, very consistently. Would she miss days for particular?
She will miss a few Tuesdays if she had something else, another either event where she wasn't feeling well. But that she would typically be there on a Tuesday night.
And what kind of hours would she hold with that position?
Yeah, she would usually go in maybe around like 10, 11 at night until closing.
Do you know what time that is?
I want to say maybe around 3, probably by the time they clean up and do the, necessary checks at the end. That would approximately she would come in around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Because typically, what I would do is set my schedule to where when she's getting off, she would drop me to the airport if I have to work that morning.
Oh, okay. So would it be safe to say, or maybe you can narrow it down even more, would she be home between 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 or approximately 4 o'clock? I don't know. It varies? Or?
Yeah, it will vary a little bit, but most of the time where she's coming home, I'm sleeping, because of our schedules. And so I would, after that, probably get up around, when she gets in, and then I'll start getting ready. But approximately was within that time frame.
Um, and while she's there, is there anyone in the building that kind of travels with her in that kind of nightlife or the bottle service that she was working? Was there anyone else that would go there with her from the building? Was there anyone? I should correct that. Actually, was there any friends of hers in the building that you're aware of? Does she hang out with anyone or go out with anyone from Tamarack Village?
Not from Tamarack Village, no.
Okay. So it wasn't like she would give anyone rides there to and from. Okay. And there's anything else in that picture. I also showed you the pink half crop shirt that the suspect was wearing when she left, along with the suitcase and bag. Obviously, there's no name brand on that. Is that something you recognize at all?
This actually looks, it actually kind of looks like it could be mine. This is a set, and it looks like this is the top to a sweatsuit that I have. That's what it actually looks like to me seeing. Be packed up in boxes and storage.
I'll be able to verify if that top is missing.
I mean, if I had to, because all my stuff at this point is already packed up in boxes and storage. But if I had to go through all those things, I would know for sure if it's that item. That's
okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the statement that we didn't discuss, or anything I'm missing, or we may have spoke about before going on tape here?
Not that I could think of right now.
Okay. And everything we pretty much discussed on tape, we discussed in the same manner just prior to going on tape, or at least in the past. And nothing has changed from those answers or discussions. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing additional to conclude, the time is now 6 p.m. on Friday, September 2nd, 2022.
Okay, so that was the interview with Diana Hodgson, Kayla's mom. September 2nd, the murder took place July 13th. So roughly about 6 weeks after the murder took place, she's coming to talk and sit down with the detectives regarding anything she might know about her daughter. But by this time, they'd already arrested Sakina. So just, kind of keep in mind the timeline. They'd already arrested Sakina. She was arrested sometime in July. I'm gonna have to get the actual date, but it wasn't 4 weeks later. I mean, she was pretty much identified pretty quickly because keep in mind the friends, Candy slash Candace and Janicia, they had all the information. Rovelto obviously had some information, but it was more pertinent to his relationship with Kayla. I don't know that he knew anything else. But because he found her, keep in mind he had to clear himself because he's a boyfriend and he found her and they're just doing their due diligence. So he had to kind of really explain himself, being first on the scene, finding her, all of those things. So we're going to get into Ravelto's statements to the detectives, and there's also some Ravelto body cam, but we'll do that in another live because we're going to, by the time we finish with Ravelto's interviews, this will be over an hour. So we'll do the body cams. Maybe we can do one, and there's the one where the cousin is giving some really good information because I'll let her explain it, but basically, these days the word gets around before the police know anything. So I guess Rovelto called a friend who dates a friend, and that's how the cousin, because they were like, how did you know? How did you get here so quick? And she's like, Rovelto called his friend called her friend, and her friend called me, and that's how I got here so fast. Because if you remember Janicia's statement, she was in New York when everything happened, and when she heard about what happened to Kayla, she got on a plane like that day or the next day, coming back to Florida to come check and see what had occurred, right? So that whole thing. So okay, let's keep going. Let me see what you guys are saying. Okay. Well, and it can just be, you know, Sakina and Kayla had some interactions online, and Sakina confronted Kayla about her relationship with Terry because Sakina was serious about her man. She was very much serious, and um, I don't know. I don't know if Kayla was taking it as seriously as maybe she should have. That this girl could have been, a little mentally disturbed. On top of that, just how serious people are about their man. And even though he wasn't claiming her, um, clearly there were some issues. He was somewhat of a playboy. I guess, what I mean? Seemed like she was probably taking it just as serious as Terry was, which she wasn't taking Sakina seriously and lying to her a lot and all of those things. So I don't know. It's really unfortunate this whole thing had to happen because it really didn't have to happen. Um, Anyway, let's keep going, guys. So we're going to get into Ravelto Robinson. Ravelto actually testified in court. He was on the witness stand. If you watch the news stories, you will see him. He had the unfortunate circumstances of finding her. But someone mentioned something about the mom. I would hate to know what would have happened if the mom had been home because when mom was home, it doesn't mean that this wouldn't have happened. If mom was home and she had been sleeping, just imagine waking up to what occurred. We don't know how long it took for the fight and the killing to actually happen before Diana would have woken up. Would Sakina have come for Diana? Like it could have. It's we don't really know what would have happened. I don't know if she had a firearm in the house. She said she had a concealed carry license. We just don't know what would have happened. I'm sure she wanted to be there to help protect her daughter, but unfortunately, that was not the case. She wasn't home. I just kind of feel like Sakina was on some murderous type stuff, then Diana could have been hurt too. I don't know. I don't know if she could have taken both of them or not, but I don't know. That woman is crazy. So, but I'm sure she would have taken anything for her child. So, okay, let's go to the next one. We've already heard Janicia, so we're gonna go. Just a second, guys. Okay, guys, I don't know if you can you hear the audio? Just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I had to fix an audio issue. Okay. Okay. All right. Is this on stage? Okay, just a second, guys. All right. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear.
16660 of the Broward County Sheriff's Office. This statement is in reference to case number 07-2207-001605. The statement is being taken on July 13, 2022. The time now is 16:24 hours. For the record, please state your full legal name and date of birth.
Okay, so July 13, that is the day. So this is the statement right after he has discovered the body, okay?
Ravelto Robinson, August 25th, 1990.
And could you just spell your first and last name for me?
Ravelto.
I'm sorry,
Elto. Last name Robinson, spelled usual, Robinson.
Okay. All right, now, Mr. Robinson, do you understand that I'm a deputy sheriff?
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to advise you that I'm duly authorized to take sworn statements. Therefore, everything you tell me must be the truth and to the best of your knowledge. Do you understand?
Yes.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Robinson has raised his right hand, has now been sworn in. And Mr. Robinson, do you understand what perjury is?
No.
Lying under oath.
Okay.
So I just swore you in. You're now under oath. So if you lied as a crime, you can be charged with it. You understand?
Okay.
So bring your attention back to today's date. Just kind of like walk me through how before we got here and everything that happened.
Woke up this morning. You want me from the very beginning of my whole day? Okay. Woke up this morning around 8, 9. Ordered Uber Eats to my house around 11, 12. I called her. I called
her being
Kayla. I called Kayla.
Okay.
I called Kayla around 3, 4 times. She wasn't answering the phone. I texted her a couple of times. I'm like, yo, where you at? What are you doing? No response. So I seen on my text, on my iPhone message that some of my texts went through, and then after a while, they just stopped going through.
When you say going through, it
didn't say delivered.
Gotcha.
It didn't say delivered no more. So I'm like, now I'm like, the hell. So I knew that last night she worked a party down the street. She's a waitress.
Okay.
So she works a party and she usually get around 4 a.m. So I just figured maybe she's sleeping in late because she's a person that usually sleep in late because she has dark curtains. So I'm like, okay. So I came down to the area. I'm like, let me stop by. When I drove, I parked. I don't have a way to get in her gate, so I usually park in outside of her gate by the clubhouse. When I parked out there, I didn't see her car in the parking lot because she usually parks in handicap. So I come upstairs from the staircase that you just came from. I come up, I knock on the door, I'm banging on the door. I hear her dog, but I don't hear her. So I'm like, all right, maybe she's not home because I don't see her car. So I come back, I leave. I go to Target at Sawgrass Mall. I deposit some money and send to my home, my boy. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna swing back through. Maybe she pulled up by now. I come back, but this time when I come back, I'm trying to get inside the gate. So I'm looking like I want to drive around the complex, see if maybe she parked somewhere else. So when I followed a moving truck in the gate, I drive around. When I'm driving around, I see her car is outside of the complex. So I go out the complex and I park by her car. So I walk back in. Now I'm banging on the door because now I'm like, your car is here. I know you're here. And then I just checked the door to see if it was open. And when I opened the door, she was on the floor.
Where did you see her?
She was on the left.
I haven't been in yet, so I don't know.
Okay, so if you walk in the door, she's literally on the left-hand side of the island in the kitchen. There's blood everywhere. So at first, like I was so shell shocked. I opened back the door and walked right back out.
Again, redactions, so there's some silent moments. I'm gonna speed through them.
Out there, waved them down, and followed them up and walked up with them.
Can you describe to me the laceration on her neck?
I couldn't really see it because I didn't want to turn her neck or anything. I just seen, like, as I'm pumping her, I just seen the blood coming out of her neck. Okay. I didn't really see the kind of wound it was, if it was a slash or if it was a stab wound. I didn't see.
When you say, and now how positive are you that when you turned the door it was unlocked?
1,000%.
Was it closed?
Yes, it was pulled up, but it was unlocked. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't jarred.
You don't have a key to get in?
No, I don't have a key. Okay.
All right. Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Do you remember the times that you were texting and calling her with no response?
Honestly, after I was calling her, I was upset at her because I'm like, it was kind of suspicious. So I just started deleting. I deleted her number, deleted her text message. I was just deleting her stuff because I'm like, why the fuck are you not answering my calls? But you can pull my call log or whatever you guys need to do. But, oh my face. It's hard. Can you close this? Because they told me not to touch nothing. You can close on the side. Just in my other phone. I can check for you. Yeah, just click on that side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I deleted all our contacts. Matter of fact, okay. No, this was yesterday. I called her at 12.
Okay, I'm going to just interject real quick right here. So let's keep in mind Rovelto has a girlfriend at this moment, right? The girlfriend lives in the New York City area. If you listen to the video, if you are just coming in, you never heard the full narrative. We did a whole episode of Let's Read, and we read the full narrative. So Rovelto was in New York the weekend before with his girlfriend. Kayla goes up to New York. She's with Janicia. They're in New York. She saw Terry. Okay, Kayla saw Terry in New York, like it was like the 5th, 6th, and 7th. So like the week before, Janicia was in New York visiting with her family. Kayla came up there for a couple of days. Rovelto was up there with his girlfriend. Nobody saw each other. But Rovelto is going to talk about when he would come back home from New York to Florida, or if his girl would come down to Florida, him and Kayla would be a little bit icy for a couple of days. And obviously Kayla liked him, but she probably wasn't totally cool with the fact that he had a girlfriend, but she was dealing with it. And then vice versa, he wasn't probably cool with the fact that she was dealing with other guys, but he had to deal with it because they were both involved with other people, right? So I think that him deleting the phone number was him, he was like, obviously there was some tension between the two of them because they have a tenuous relationship in the sense that they're both dealing with other people. They both are in their feelings about it. She wasn't answering the door. his assumption was she was possibly with somebody else, but I guess something in him was telling him he needed to go check on her. And good, because honestly, had he not, 2 days from at this point, her mother would have walked in to her daughter laying there on the floor for 2 days. Okay? That would have been even worse, right? So thank goodness he did follow his instincts and go check on her, because just imagine that scene. And when I tell you it was a scene, it was horrible, right? So Rovelto unfortunately found Kayla, but that was just what was meant to be. But yeah, I think he sounds very emotional right now. Number one, his girl is dead. Number two, he just walked in on her body. So if you're hearing that come through in his voice, just understand what has all occurred. He was thinking that maybe she was dealing with someone else. He goes over there to go check on her, and we see everything, how it all unfolded. And then also he's being severely questioned because, in any police investigation, everyone's under suspicion until you're not. You know what I'm saying? So he found the body, and they're working to clear him at this moment, right? So, all right, let's keep going. Sorry to interrupt, but I felt like it was important to kind of just put that in there. All right. Okay, let's go back. And if you want me to post these uninterrupted, I will. Just let me know in the comments if you want me to post this again uninterrupted. Okay.
12:16 yesterday.
Afternoon?
Yeah, in the afternoon. I came here. I saw her yesterday.
Okay, what time would you say the last time you saw her was?
I saw her around 6:30.
Last night.
Last night. I came here. I do real estate in Dominican Republic, so I had some money wired to her. So she gave me the money. We hugged eyes. So what she was doing, she worked in her party tonight that she worked every Tuesday. I'm like, all right, cool. She was here by herself because her mom's a flight attendant. So we hugged. I left. After that, I left. I went home. And I didn't talk to her for that, but I got friends that go to that party.
They saw her there?
Yeah, they saw her around 3:34, and her best friend said she checked her location at 4 a.m. and she was en route to going home. And even when you look at her, she's in her nightgown, like she was home. It looked like she made it home from last night, and she was in her nightgown.
Okay. All right. I asked you earlier your relationship with her. You said kind of, sort of, boyfriend.
Yeah, because I got a girlfriend that live out of state, so me and her mess around.
Okay. All right. How long have you known her?
About a year.
Okay. Did you look at her car and into her car or anything like that when you pulled up next to it? Did you see?
No, she has a cover on her car,
on
the windshield, and her tints are very dark.
Okay.
But I knew it was her car because she had the handicap sticker was in her car.
Okay. So she normally parks in the handicap spot.
But inside the car,
So when you drove by her earlier, was the handicap spot empty?
Yeah, they were empty. It was a lot of park. It was both of them were empty, and all the cars were parked. So I'm like, but I didn't come inside the gate. Like I just parked my car in the handicap and walked straight up.
Okay. Minutes. And then when you were here the first time, you didn't get out, you didn't go upstairs. No,
I came upstairs. I knocked on the door, but I didn't check the door. It was just no reason for me to assume that she was home because I didn't see her car. So I didn't even check the door. I just knocked real hard. I didn't hear. I heard her dog, but I'm like, all right, maybe she left out.
Oh yeah, there was something about the dog. Was it when you went inside? Did you see the dog?
No, but I seen her mom's room door was closed. So I was assuming that it was in the room because her dog is always in her room or her dog is out. She would never lock up her dog if she's home.
Okay. Okay, so the dog was in the bedroom of the mother.
Yeah, because the dog didn't come out while I was there. And it's a very joyful dog.
Would you be able to figure out where the dog was when you knocked on the door earlier? Did it sound like it was right by the door when it was barking? Or?
The dog, the first time?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't by the door at all because I didn't hear no stirring at the door or anything. It was locked. It was either, I assumed it was in the box or it was locked in the room. But when it was barking, even if it's in the box, it would have been a lot clear. It was kind of muffled when it was barking. Yeah, it sounded kind of muffled. So I was like, all right, maybe she locked it in the room.
What does she do with the dog when she goes to work?
She either put it in the box.
The kennel?
It's not even a kennel. It's a cardboard box that she has, and she usually put it in there.
Okay. She wouldn't leave it in a bedroom?
Not lock it away. She rarely locks away her dog.
Okay. All right. So she didn't respond to any of your calls or messages today?
No, not at all. Not one.
Okay. And her friend said that around 4 a.m. she was definitely mobile home.
Home, yes.
On her way home.
Yeah, they share locations. So she said she was en route on her way home on Commercial.
How do you usually get into the apartment complex?
I always park in the handicap at.
Well, I guess no, I meant because it's gated. How does someone?
Yeah,
get
there's
in?
a walk-in that's not. You can just walk right in. Yeah,
Okay.
I just park my car and then I just walk right in.
Okay. Is there anything you can think of that I didn't ask you that you think might be important?
The only like she don't have problems. Like she's a very happy-go-lucky person. The only thing like probably like a couple weeks ago she was getting like prank calls. People calling her like constant. People calling like prank calling her like like just prank calls. She was and she said something but she didn't get into details about it. She's like you keep calling my fucking phone. Keep calling my phone.
I wanted to ask, how far would you have said you got into the apartment?
I didn't go past the island at all.
Did you look around to see if anything was?
The only thing I looked for was her phone, and I seen her. I looked for her phone like just in the vicinity. I didn't see her phone, and then I seen like her nails was broken because I was just trying to. I seen her nails broken like she was fighting. I seen like the way blood was just everywhere all over the wall. I don't know if she. I don't know.
All right. Okay. All right. So, based on what you're telling me about the CPR and stuff, we'd like to get a DNA standard from you because you did touch her.
Okay.
And we're going to take pictures and swab that and get that off of you and do all that. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with everything. You guys can do whatever you got to do.
All right, very good. The statement will now conclude. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you given the statement of your own free will?
Yes.
Have you been coerced to give this?
No.
All right. The statement will now conclude. The time now is